then, NWO, you never know where Sting is. Right?
Right.
Okay, as promised, this is a part of the program I have been looking forward to. We are going to talk to the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Last time we saw Ric Flair, his head smashed into the steel door, the steel cage at War Games at Fall Brawl. It was a very emotional night for me personally, but for any wrestling fans. And we do understand, do we have Ric Flair on the phone now? Okay, Rick, we're going to hook up by telephone. He's home in Charlotte, North Carolina. Rick, my friend, are you there?
Tony, I'm here.
It's great to hear your voice. You don't know how good it is.
Well, it's equally nice to hear from you.
How are you feeling? And I know this is, I'm not talking about emotionally right now. Physically, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Physically, I would be a liar if I told you I couldn't be better. But, you know, Tony, time is precious. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I'm respectful of the fact that...
whatever you need, go ahead. We want to hear
I am respectful. Well, thank you. I'm respectful of the fact that you acknowledged my injury several weeks ago. I was not able to see this show live. As you know, I had just come out of surgery.
Right.
But I've watched the tape back 10 times. I had to see what Henning did to me. I had to start thinking long, hard, and serious about Ric Flair and where he was going. And then I started thinking about the words you put out so eloquently, and then I thought about what Larry Zbyszko said right behind you, that I was the dirtiest player in the game, and that no one should feel sorry for me because I've been there, seen it, done it, and want to do it again. So let me say this. I want to address several issues tonight, Tony.
Go ahead.
On top of thanking you, I want to thank Curt Hennig. As strange as that may seem, I want to thank Curt Hennig for giving me the wake-up call that sometimes athletes need if they're to go to another level or if they're to succeed in the future. Whether I'm guilty of complacency, whether I'm guilty of taking day-to-day situations lightly, I really don't know at this point. But I have been guilty, for sure, of being caught off guard. And in this sport, when you're caught off guard, you pay the price. Hennig beat me up. Nash beat me up. Six beat me up. Conan beat me up. Bagwell beat me up. 5 guys beat me up. You know why? Because I was stupid enough, complacent enough, and that far off the razor's edge to let it happen. 4 years ago, I'd have left Hennig laying a week before that match happened. That's complacency. That's the wake-up call. So Curt Hennig, know this. The stitches are out next week, and Ric Flair will be right back in your face the day that he can be there on Nitro. Second issue.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan. You know, Hogan, when Hennig got down on his knees in Charlotte, North Carolina, and gave you my robe, they might as well have driven a truck that said NWO through my home. And I'm that serious about this remark. Our careers, Hogan, have paralleled each other. We have wrestled against each other. We have drawn huge gates. We have been on a tier that very few athletes in any sport ever arrive at. But let me assure you of this. I never heard one time in the past 20 years anybody say that you could wear my shoes, fill my shoes. You damn sure can't wear my robe, pal. And that goes right to you. I will come back to get that robe. That is a promise. You will regret the day you stuck your nose in Hennig and my business. The third point is this. Arn Anderson, my best friend, as you know, is down,
right,
never to return. I want to take this opportunity to thank 2 of the greatest athletes and people that have ever come into my life. I'm talking about Chris Benoit, the Crippler, and Steve Mongo McMichael. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that pound for pound, I said it the night of the pay-per-view, Chris Benoit is the greatest wrestler pound for pound in our sport today. He deserves freedom. He doesn't need to worry about taking care of Ric Flair, and that's what he's done. He put his hand out there. He stuck by me. He worried about me. He tried to protect me. He stood up for me. Well, that doesn't work. That's crap in this business, and you get it back the same way. Chris Benoit, I want you to go your own way because you deserve it. You're that good. You're that talented. Steve McMichael, on a more personal note, because we have become very close friends, you, my friend, are wearing a Super Bowl ring on your right hand. How many athletes in life can say they wear a Super Bowl ring? That makes you the very best at what you do for one day in your life. You're an all-pro defensive tackle with the Chicago Bears that came into our sport and came in at a high tier. You've been successful, but you've only just begun. You are Steve Mongo McMichael, and I want you to go your own way now. In other words, Tony, I am asking those guys to allow me to break up the Horsemen because I have personal business to take care of, and I don't want them to have to interfere or worry about me and my future any longer.
Rick, you're dismantling the Horsemen? I mean,
Tony, I'm asking for a grace period. You and I both know that the four fingers will be in the air for decades to come. There's no doubt about that. But I am giving Steve Mongo McMichael his head. He doesn't need Ric Flair. Chris Benoit doesn't need Ric Flair. We're good friends. We're athletes. We hung out together. We wrestled together. They need to go their own direction. They need to succeed on their own, and they need not worry about taking care of me, because I can promise you, Tony, what's going to take place in the future will not only be immoral, it will be illegal. When and where, I can't promise you, but Tony, I can tell you this right now, and I hate to get wound up. It hurts my head to make me talk this fast.
I understand.
But I will never be too sweet, pal, because, man, I am too good, and I'm going to prove that point. And I once again thank you, Curt Hennig, and the entire NWO for giving me the wake-up call. Now, guys, I'm serving you notice. I'm coming back. I'm going nowhere. Don't dust off any shelf for me. Larry Zbyszko, do it, buddy. Commissioner Piper, not my best friend, but, brother, you do it. Diamond Dallas Page, you do it. But don't do it for Ric Flair. Do it for yourself. Giant, tonight, do it because you're a man. And Curt Hennig needs his butt kicked. But save a little bit for me. Okay. Tony Schiavone, I love you all. Thank you.